Hello, hello, hello. Kim J of Kim J Sweet Healthy Life here. And I am here tonight to speak to you all about my 21-day gut and metabolic reset. Yes, I'm preparing myself for summertime. Yes, summertime success. So come on in, my YouTube friends. Let's talk about it. Yes, yes, yes. So today is Tuesday, June 2nd of 2026. And I thank God for this day. My day or my week has been going well. I started my 21-day gut and metabolic reset yesterday, June 1st. And I'm doing it 21 days because 21 days, it's noted that it takes 21 days to form a new habit. So it's something that I would love to really tap into and learn how to, um, eat better, right? Uh, Hello, Liza. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in tonight. Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, so I'm doing a 21-day gut and metabolic reset. Started yesterday, and I want to share, with everyone that I'm doing that. I have, talked to my members about it uh, on Sunday, and so yes, asked them if they want to share it, and come along on that journey, embark upon that journey with me. And so yes, I'm preparing for summertime. Summer this year starts June 21st. This is 2026. And yes, I want to kind of, get that gut in better health just in general, but I do want to like lose hopefully a couple of inches, even if it's 1 inch, a half an inch, honey. Just trying to make sure that, when how we put on our shorts or our summer dresses and things of that nature, our shirts, things like that, that, the body is tea. Yes. So yeah, how you doing, Felicia? Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. So I just want to talk about this 21-day summer body reset and why, your metabolism and your metabolic health is very important. So I hope y'all are doing well. I say again. All right. So tonight I want to share something, just about my personal, journey and why I'm, deciding to do this gut and metabolic health reset because, it's some things that has been going on in my, journey, my personal journey that I thought that this would be, a good idea to do. Um, and definitely before, the summertime comes. In which we have a few more days. So yes, I'm also doing not only making sure I'm eating a certain way, um, but also trying to make sure that I, um, exercise. Making sure I'm focusing more on my abs because I do some ab workouts, but probably I can level up in that area. Yes. Felicia says, "Whoo, good health challenge, right?" So Felicia did decide to come along on this venture with me and a few other people within my membership. And yeah, I'm excited about it. So I wanted to talk to the Sweet Life Squad about it as well and see if you all want to join in too. And so hopefully, you it might be something that you may look into because I think it's very important, just to have, a very good gut, you know, and then, do some ab workout. Very good, very good. I know as we get older, it's something that we have to, a lot of people they start getting more round in the gut, even if they were, fit. Um, lived a life where they, did exercises and ate right and things like that. They noticed that, because of perimenopause or menopause, whatever stage you're in, that you have some issues with, gut protruding out. So yes, eating this type of way could help in that effort of trying to get that gut down and also just balance out hormones, right? So yes, many of us focus on the calories, the macros, our protein, the scale itself, especially if you're on a weight loss journey, or if you're trying not to gain more weight and things of that nature. So all those things do matter when it comes to better health. Um, and so, yes, I thought this would be a good idea to talk about it tonight. So I'm hoping a few more people come in. Um, yeah. So lately for me, I just like, okay, what else can I do? How else can I level up? What have you. I do have some issues where I notice with me being on GLP-1 Manjaro to help me, manage my A1C, as well as, helps me lose weight. And it's been actually doing wonders. I've been on the journey almost 2 years now, just shy of 2 years. I started July 2024, at the end of July 30th to be exact, of 2024. And I'm, still rocking and rolling on that GLP-1 journey. It has helped me tremendously with my A1C, getting my high blood sugars under control. And then I've also experienced low blood sugars throughout my journey. And I have been on a very, very low carb diet, very high protein. Well, I would say very high. Let me back up. I'm on a high protein for me anyway, because I also have kidney disease, not only diabetes, I have kidney disease. I have several different comorbidities. And unfortunately, the doctors say that none of them are curable, but they can be managed, right? Better managed. So yes, and they can be, reverse, as well as, go into remission, but they don't consider it being curable diseases. So again, high blood pressure is what I started off with. And then I had kidney disease, and then the type 2 diabetes. But of course, because I'm a woman of a particular age, I have hormonal, issues. So I'm trying to balance those out better through, nutrition, through, different natural lifestyle changes, as well as medication, hormone replacement therapy. And that's been going pretty well. I've done tests on it, and everything is in the green. But I'm trying certain things that was in the green that may have been in the low, um, part of the normal range. I want to, maximize it to kind of get in that middle range of the normal. So yes, I've decided to take, some medication for that. Um, and it's been doing, really good so far. I'm going to take some tests again later on this year, just to kind of see how it's going, just as an update. And I'll, of course, update you periodically with that information. Also, I had some issues with my cholesterol. That's another thing. As you age, you find out sometimes people's cholesterol, the LDL which is the bad cholesterol, it goes up. And then you have your HDL, which is a good cholesterol, and sometimes it kind of goes down lower than the normal range. So dealing with those type things, and obesity as well, dealing with all this stuff, it can be overwhelming sometimes. It sometimes, like for me, with all the things that I just shared with you all, that sometimes can play a role where somebody else, if they may have been dealing with one or two things, it may be a quicker fix for them to kind of get their stuff back in balance. But for me, it's a little different because I'm dealing with a lot of different components. And so even with my doctors, I had went to one time a weight loss doctor, because I was trying to, of course, get down to my goal weight that I want to be. And she's like, you're going to have to talk to your healthcare professionals, because you have so much going on, and the things that we normally offer here, it doesn't fit, it won't help you, or whatever. You can't do it. So for instance, when it comes down to, she wanted to lower my carbs to 50 carbs, per day. And I'm like, I'm having some issues with low blood sugars, and I'm trying to, better manage those or whatever. So she's like, okay, see, I can't put you on that. I can't do that with you. Okay, so what about upping your protein? And I'm like, because those two things will help you lose weight, or what have you. And I'm like, the only thing about the protein upping it, I can only go so far up because of my kidney disease. When it comes to kidneys, it filters everything filters through your kidneys, or most things. And so with that being said, it can be very hard on my kidneys when I take, say, NSAIDs, which are like anti-inflammatory pills, over-the-counter pills, um, such as like Advil, um, Motrin, things like that. Um, yeah, ibuprofens. I have to be careful with. I really don't. They tell me not to take it because of kidney disease. It's hard on your kidneys when it comes down to, like, say, trying to eat a lot of ultra processed foods. That can be hard on your kidneys, and that's for anybody. But I definitely have to be careful with it because I have chronic kidney disease. And so, with that being said, I can't up my proteins, even if it's just real protein. I can't up it, but so much. So she was like, "Yeah, see, I really can't, help you because that's the stuff that we will offer um, our patients." And so, get with your healthcare team and see what they can come up with for you. So at first I was like, man, that kind of was sad. It made me sad. But then I was like, you know what? Hindsight, I thank her for it because I'll be just giving her money. And just wasting money, because she's like, and you're losing weight still. This was at the time when I was losing weight still. And she's like, you lost 10 pounds, this within this month since we seen you or what have you. So, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not like constantly going. Matter of fact, I looked at my tracker for my weight tracker that I have, and it actually says since December 9th, 2024, all the way through, I'm assuming to today, my weight was only, and I fluctuated back and forth on kind of like a roller coaster. I was doing okay at, the first half of 2025. And let me go back. 2024, when it comes to the weight loss part, I was an average of over 2 pounds a week. And then it's kind of slowed down as time progressed. And then I went on kind of like a little roller coaster here and there. I was, losing weight in 2025, but then I started slowing down. And then I went to the point where I wasn't really losing. I was up and down here and there, a little bit by little bit. And then by December of 2024, I was back at like 190 something, like 191 or whatever. And I was in at the time of my 1 year, which is a 12-month period mark, I had went down 76 pounds. So I was definitely, like I said, still losing in the beginning of the year up into the mid-year. But then after that, because of my low blood sugars, I wound up, having to go on my 7.5 at the time every 2 weeks. And then I had to titrate to 5 milligrams in September. And then that's when I started seeing the yo-yoing of the weight even more. And then to the point where I was gaining more than I was losing. And so what my app tells me is that, and I just noticed this today, it says from December 9th, 2024, I had only lost 10.8 pounds to now. From December 9th to now, the average was 10.8 pounds. Yeah. So, and my BMI went down 2 points. So, yes, that was kind of weird to me. Like I knew it, but I didn't, just looking at it for real, it's like, wow, you know. So, yeah. So I decided to go on a journey to just to get my metabolism like it needs to be, my metabolic health, to where it should be, or get it, better, or what have you. And I'm just doing all the things that I know to do, naturally, what have you, as well as take this medication. So yes, I'm gonna get back in this chat and say hey to who has come in. Hello, Miss Tamika. How you doing? Thanks for coming in, sis. Uh, Grace says hi. How you doing, Grace? Hope you're doing well. She says she's listening and support, and thank you so much for supporting me. Greatly appreciate it. Hello, Jen F. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. So yeah, I just want to talk to you all about metabolic health and gut health and why it's important, for anybody on the journey. Yes, I have my little, laundry list of comorbidities, but it helps, with it can help anybody really, making sure your gut is healthy. Thank you so much, Grace. She said, did everybody like the live? I hope so. If you haven't, please do so. If you're here or you're in the bushes and you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Jane. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. She says she's making dinner and listening in. Thank you so much, Miss Jane, JC Calamity Jane. She said, hope all is well. Yes, for me it is. Yes. Hello, Purple Bellflower. How you doing, Zodiac Twin? How you doing? So she says, Tamika says she's doing fantastic. I know that's right, gorgeous. I know that's right. Yeah, she said, Amiga, yeah. Hey, girl, Tamika. Yes, everybody's saying hey to one another. Come on, come on. Yes. Come on, Stas. Is that how you say it? So Grace says, question, when's the next game night with FMB? I was just talking about that, Grace. Maybe you could get an answer from her. Maybe you can get an answer from her. Oh my God, I was just talking about it. We've been kind of busy, y'all. We've been kind of busy, honey, with just family things, So yeah, off and on. So Grace says, Beth, she's sleeping. This is about the time I turn in, honey. Oh my gosh. You're funny, Grace, per usual. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, she is sweet. That's my girl there. That's my girl. All right. Yeah. Felicia on crickets right now. Oh gosh, hopefully one day we'll be able to jump back in. But yes, we did have to take a hiatus on the game night Sunday Fun Day, which was the second Sunday and the fourth Sunday. We had some things going on, like I said, with our family. Of course, family is first. Got to make sure they are everything is good there first, and then we can jump back and do all the things. Yep. So that's why you haven't seen us sometimes in different lives. Also we're trying to grow our own channels, of course. And I've always been told several times, over and over again, really, a lot of times, Kim J, you need to focus on your own channel. Stop trying to be in everybody's lives. And I finally got it. I finally got it. So yeah. But anyway, like I said, got a new grandbaby for me. I got a new grandbaby, and I'm, helping mom out, which is my daughter, helping her out. That's a lot, it's her first baby, just like I said, doing different things with our family. My nephew, he's come to town, moved here. So we've been just hanging out and doing some things. So yeah, they want to do like 2 Sundays a month. We will get together and do dinner. Things that we kind of done back in the past when my mom was alive. And they were here when he was younger. And so he's like, let's get together. Let's have fun. That's why I came back, to our home. Well, it was never his hometown, but our hometown. Yeah. So we've been really making sure that we're hanging out together. My daughter's like, I want my son to know everybody and, be able to have those memories, and things of that nature. So yeah, we're trying to make sure that we're staying, close. Right. So yeah. At some point we kind of was doing our own things, and we'll see each other every now and again, but yeah, we just trying to make sure we're seeing each other a little bit more now, as a family, because we love one another and we love and enjoy ourselves. That's why sometimes when I do hang out, we hanging out till 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes for me 2 o'clock in the morning, because so yeah, anyway, bunch of laughs there, a bunch of fun. Yeah, our family is pretty close. So yeah, I love and thank God for that. But yeah, so I want to talk tonight, y'all, about this metabolic health, this gut health, this challenge, this reset, I should say. It could be a challenge for some people, but yeah, a 21-day reset. Trying to get ready, summertime fine, summertime ready, yes, yes. And so I may not be able to, get all this weight off of me, get all the fat that I would love to get off of me. I wish I can be Genie and blink my eyes. Yep. I wish I could, but I'm not. I dream of Genie, y'all know, for those who are, near my age. Yes. So yeah. So I want to talk about that tonight. Why it's important for us to have good gut health. Why it's important for us to have, be able to do what we can do, naturally, of course. And then if we have to use medications, we can use medications as well. I know everybody on my channel does not use a GLP-1. I love talking about GLP-1s, but I know everybody in my channel, they may have had VSG, which surgery to get have weight loss. They may have on GLP-1, they may be on both, or they may have type 2 diabetes or kidney disease or whatever, or they just may like supporting Kim J. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being in the bushes. Thank you for whatever you do to support me. I greatly appreciate it. So let's one more time. I'm gonna check this chat real quick, see who's here. If there's somebody else that popped in. So let me say what Grace says. You guys are so much fun together. Thank you so much. I do believe that. Now we are going to do something together. I'm not sure about Sunday Fun Day game night, but we definitely have something planned for the community. I also just miss FMB's lives. Right. Yep. I do too. I do too. Grace says sometimes the kindness thing we can do for ourselves is to stop spreading our energy so thin. You're right about it. I love that you're giving your channel the attention it deserves. Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate your encouragement. All right, so Purple Bellflower says absolutely 100%, and not feeling guilty about choosing yourself. Yes, exactly, exactly. Hello, Vivi. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Greatly appreciate you for coming in tonight. Hope you're doing well. So yes, let's get into this 21-day reset that I'm doing, y'all. It's for gut health. It's for metabolic health. It's to try to get a little more snatch before the summer hits June 21st, right around the corner, y'all. I started this challenge June 1st, which was yesterday, right? Yeah, I'm looking back at that to make sure. Yeah, it was yesterday. And so I decided to go on it because I needed to help, making sure that my gut health, that my gut is healthier. Of course, like I said, my channel is about health in general. Making sure that we are healthy in general, not just it's mind, body, spirit, and soul for me. So I talk a little bit about all of that. Um, of course, I'm on a GLP-1 Manjaro for those who don't know that maybe in the bushes on the replay. I know everybody here knows that, but I use that for type 2 diabetes, but it also has helped me with several different things, and I thank God for that. Um, I talk spirit because I'm a I I am a child of God. So yes, I do talk spirit. I know some people may not talk about it or live that type of life, but that I do. So it comes out in me because that's what's in me, right? And like I said, body wise, I want to make sure that I'm healthy, and mind definitely, mindful moments, trying to make sure that I am, I have that growth mindset, and making sure that my mind is conducive upon, being healthy, So yeah, that's what I'm about here on this channel for those who do not know, or just as a reminder to those who do. So, all right, good health. Sometimes we have and this is why I'm doing this reset. Sometimes we have situations where we understand that weight loss is not linear. We've heard that. We have our ups and downs. I explained earlier, 10 pounds since December 9th, 2024. It was my average 10 pounds. And so yeah, that's kind of crazy a little bit, but my mindset says it happens and it's okay. Okay. This for me. This is from Kim J. It happens and it's okay. I'm on a lifelong journey to be healthier. I want to make sure I'm healthy. I want to also make sure I live a long life. So I'm in it for the long haul. And sometimes, weight is one component, And so, yes, while I want to get down to my goal weight, I do also want to, and more importantly, make sure health in its totality is what I seek, right? So, and I hope you all do the same. My Sweet Life Squad do the same. And I hope that for you all. So we may get on this medication first to, for different reasons. One could be for sleep apnea. One could be for, high heart issues or whatever. You may have, issues with diabetes, it's several different things this medication may help you with. Kidney disease, even, it can help you, with. So since I have obesity, since I have all of those things, then I'm like, this would be a great medication for me, and so I got on Monjaro for primarily for to help me with my A1C, to help me manage my blood sugars. But, you know, I knew that it could help me be a tool that can help me with, or may help me with weight loss and sleep apnea and things of that nature. Now, I never was diagnosed with sleep apnea, but the way I snored, okay? You can ask my husband. The way I snored, it was a mess, okay? Yes, my daughters heard me from across the room, because we have like a split. I can think of a split. Is it split level? The bedrooms are separated. My bedroom is separated from theirs, but yes, very very loud snoring. They could hear me a long way, and so they wanted me to test for sleep apnea, but I never did. I never wanted to wear that big old mask, the ugly mask all night long. I didn't. Plus, when I put on masks, it makes I hold my breath. It's something about breathing through those masks and just chillaxing. I don't know what it is. I will hold my breath instantly, and of course, you can't hold your breath all night. So I was always it's like a kind of like claustrophobic type situation going on. So yeah, anyway, I'm sure I had sleep apnea, but since my journey, that has slowed down. I haven't talked a lot about that on this channel, but yes, I noticed that I don't snore, or if I do, it's more than likely because I'm very tired, or like if I get a cold or something like that, and your nasal is all messed up and things like that, you may hear like a little hint of a snore. But other than that, yeah, no, none of that going on anymore. Also, I had GERD, acid reflux. Well, I'm sorry, GERD. What is it called? Lord Jesus, help my brain fog. Can't think of it. But yeah, GERD is the real name for it. And so yes, I had to take omeprazole, Prilosec, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm not having that issue anymore. I don't have to take the omeprazole anymore. So that's, those are non-scale victories I thank God for, since I've been on this weight loss journey. My blood pressure is back in the normal range. Years and years, I was, out of range, like crazy high, 200s over 100s, crazy high. And your blood pressure should be 120 over 80. And yeah, well, since I've been on this journey, it's now finally back down and it's staying in the normal range. So I thank God for that. It's so many different reasons why I'm happy that I did choose Manjaro. That I asked my doctor, because they was trying to put me on metformin and not Manjaro and or Ozempic or any the GLP-1s. That wasn't um they didn't suggest those. So I'm thankful that I knew a little bit about Manjaro, and I asked, I stood up, I advocated for myself and said, hey, can I get on that? And so I've been rocking and rolling ever since. I've been enjoying my journey, for the most part. Yes, I've been having the times where I just like, oh, I want to just pull my hair out, what have you. But I normally kind of, because I'm anchored in God, I do like reel myself back in. Or I have, people that's in my circle, my little circle, of family as well as friends that can say, hey, I hear you, I'm listening in, did you try this? Have you tried that? Trust and believe God is hearing you, hearing your cry, and He's going to take care of you. So also I have the word of God to be able to, back that up and kind of center me. So yes, I thank God for that. But so anyway, so weight loss is not linear, like I was saying. Sometimes the scale, it slows down, it goes down, it may not go as fast as we want it to go, to get the goal weight and things of that nature. Sometimes inflammation increases, and these are things that I have dealt with personally. That's why I can say it. I'm not a doctor or dietitian or anything like that. I am not a healthcare provider. I'm just sharing my journey, and just also things that I know that people have said that they share, and also through research that I've done. So sometimes also energy feels low. Okay, sometimes digestion feels off. Sometimes we need to revisit the foundation that we know about how we should do things in general, naturally. And then also, like I said, sometimes we need to use the medications, and that's okay to do. So just recognizing those things, having that mindset to say, okay, where should I go from here? Or what have you. Um, I talk to Chat a lot too, Chat GBT, and just really, really deeply take a deep dive with him, and share things with him that's not so personal, like my personal information, my real personal information, but kind of just try to figure out what's going on with my body. Okay. Um, and so I realized, I don't want to just lose weight. That's not what I want to do. But I do want a healthier body in general. I do want a healthier gut. I do want better blood sugar control, right? So at first, my blood sugars were out of control, high, and I was able to get that down, able to go from a 15.1 to a 5.6 in 5 months, and so that's great. And I'm now at a 5.3. I will be rechecking my blood sugars in July, so I'll let y'all know how it's going. After I get my blood work done in July, to give you the most recent blood sugars, as well as the A1C. But yes, I started, I experienced some lows as well, which I've shared on the channel, or what have you, in different chats. And so I'm trying to figure out how to better regulate my blood sugar lows as well, so I can get that where it's so supposed to be. Okay. And people that have diabetes, they can sometimes go low, but we don't want to go in, like go low all the time. You want it to be few and far between, if it does happen at all. And yeah, so that's that. I did share with you all about me having inflammation at one point, and I still have it today. So I went back down on a 5 milligram dose. For those who don't know, in September 2025, after I had titrated up, went up to the 7.5, and I stayed on the 7.5 for like 9 months. When I went back down to the 5, inflammation came back like crazy. And yeah, it just was going, and it had me, feeling bad throughout, like my knees. And I had a prior injury on my knees, so it just made it worse. And so also, I felt sometimes like where even in my legs, it would feel a little bit heavier. Also felt sometimes like my fingers kind of felt a little bit, like fatter or whatever, and things of that nature. But mainly it's those knees that was hurting. And when I get out of the bed and go to even just walk to walk to the kitchen, I would feel the inflammation coming on. So yes, I've dealt with that. Now we do have sometimes acute inflammation, and then we have chronic inflammation at times. And I think I do experience both of them. So I went back up to the 7.5 milligram dose, because I knew, like I said, with the weight going back up, creeping back up to the 190s, and like I said, just wanting to just stay there. I'm thankful to God that it didn't go up to over 200, and I'm stuck there. But I am in the 190s from the 177, which is my lowest weight since I've been on this GLP-1 medication. And so I'm trying to get, go back down. I'm sorry, titrate and weight at some point. But I do, like I said, know that better health is what it is, in its totality. So I want to support my metabolism, not just, like I said, the weight. Okay. So that is where my metabolism, instead of just constantly fighting against it. Okay. So yes, that's where I'm at with that. So what is gut health? Now, when it comes to gut health, we're talking, it's about, the things that goes on in your stomach. Okay. Your gut is more about your stomach. And so the gut contains, so many bacteria, really trillions of bacteria, okay, and fungi and microorganisms and all the things, right? And so when it comes to all those things, we're talking gut. That's your gut microbiome, okay, is what they call it. And so some of those bacteria, they help us. Those are good bacteria that we need to, help us out, help us continue to, live and be healthy. And some of them can harm us. Okay. It may be too dominant in our bodies, some of the harmful ones. So that's why we want to try to balance it out, and make sure you have, more top heavy on the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. So that's why I'm, concerned about gut health and why I want to share it with you all tonight, just in case you don't know anything about it, or you may want to know some more about it. So why gut matters? The reason why is because it affects our digestion. It can affect our um, nutrient absorption. It can affect, which the nutrients that we put in, it may not absorb properly. It can affect our blood sugars. It can cause inflammation. It can affect our immune system. It can affect our moods. Okay. And we already have, sometimes, depending on how old you are, you may have mood swings, or even if you were younger, you can have mood swings because of the time of the month, or because of, period, post menopause, things like that. So, yes, good health can also affect the mood. It can help affect our hunger, making our hunger cues go out of whack. Also, weight management. Okay. So many people don't realize that, improving our gut health can improve our overall health. And again, that's what I'm trying to improve, our overall health. All right. So, with that being said, um, gut health and weight loss, there's a connection there. Okay. And so hopefully, you're leaning in on what I'm talking about tonight. Hopefully it resonates with you, and it's something that you would like to hear more of. So a healthy gut bacteria does, it helps produce compounds that influence our hormones. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard of leptin, which is, a fullness, that the hormone that makes you feel full, and then ghrelin, which helps you, know that you're hungry. It gives you hunger cues, right? Those signals are working properly. If they are, hopefully they are, then it's easy to recognize when you have hunger, or when you are hungry and when you feel full. Okay. But if they're out of whack, then that is an issue, right? That lets you know that there's some issues with your gut and the bacteria that's there. All right. And then when it comes to GLP-1 medications, for those who are on GLP-1s, um, you know, the GLP-1 medications, it helps, regulate our appetites, right? Which is good. It helps because some people have issues with, they may have bigger appetites, right? But our gut health can also influence, those symptoms when it comes to, the GLP-1 medications, how GLP-1 naturally works in our body, and things of that nature. Okay. And then when it comes to, even food noise, like a lot of people that are, you know, just a lot of people in general have issues with food noise, which is intrusive thoughts of, wanting food. And so therefore, these GLP-1 medications can kind of help with that food noise. That's why sometimes people, even after you get your surgery, you have a weight loss surgery, some kind of weight loss surgery, that, at some point you may feel like, okay, I'm still having food noise, and so therefore some people get on a GLP-1 medication to help them, when it comes to that, especially, trizepatide, that medication, Manjaro, as well as um, Zepbound, it helps with, food noise, not just appetite suppression. So yes, when it comes to food noise, you're talking, like I said, constant thoughts about food. You're talking, you may have, constant cravings, more cravings you would like to have about different foods or drinks. You may have, thoughts of emotional, you know, um, eating. Okay. So the gut and the brain communicates, they always communicate, right? And so that's why the mind is so important, to make sure that you have a mind that's conducive of, I want to be healthy. Okay. I don't want to, you know, think like I thought before. I don't want to do the things that I've done before that was unhealthy. I want to make sure that I am mind, body, spirit, soul ready for what the journey that we're embarking upon, right? So, or that we're in now, because sometimes the mind takes a longer time to catch up with what we're doing, when it comes to our journeys, right? So some people, it just depends on where you're at, in your journey and how you look at everything. um because some people, like I said, may want to, they jumped on this medication or the surgery because they're like, I just want to lose weight, pure point, but like, I need to get this weight off of me, right? And then, at some point, as time progressed, and they're in a beautiful community, and they're listening at different, testimonies and things like that, or they listening at YouTube, the doctors and everything, and they're like, you know what, I need to do more than just want to lose weight or take this medication just to lose weight. I want to do some natural things too, to, get to maximize on what I'm doing. So like, for instance, the natural things, quote unquote, would be better nutrition, eating better, choosing the when you go in a grocery store, choosing things around the perimeter of the grocery store versus, so many things on the inner aisles. A lot of the inner aisle items, there are a lot of processed, ultra processed foods. Now, there's nothing wrong with eating it every now and again, and you have to figure out what your every now and again is. But you want to, it's better for us to eat, um, things that are grown from the earth. Okay, that's just truth be told. Um, Rather, if you believe it or not, that's what, God gave us, the things that we should eat. And food is medicine. And when we say food is medicine, we're talking about those, the foods that, grow from the earth. Okay. And so, with that being said, and I know a lot of times, depending on how you ate before, you just even choosing, say, instead of a Snickers bar, you may eat a protein bar, which is good. That's better, right? You're moving, to become, better at health, better nutrition. So even that is still better, even though that's still considered kind of ultra processed. Those protein bars, it's still better than, say, eating a Snickers bar. Because the Snickers bar has a lot of sugar in it, even though it has some protein in it too, but it has a lot, from that, the nuts, but it has a lot of sugar in it as well, a whole lot of sugar. Where in the protein bar, say like Bear Bells or the Pure Protein or the Quest protein bars and things like that, you know, those are still ultra processed, but they're still better than the regular bars that we would eat back in the day. Whatchamacallits, like I said, Snickers bar, Reese's peanut butter cups, things like that, right? No shade, because I love me some Reese's peanut butter cups and I love me some Snickers bar, okay? So with that being said, I just know that it was not as good for me to eat all the time. So I had to change, what I had to do. And so with this gut health thing, that's, that's making sure I'm helping my gut become better, making sure that my the bacteria that in my gut, that it's more of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm talking about tonight. Um, when it comes to the brain gut connection, we're talking, that's why some of us have brain fog, some of us have mood swings, some of us have fatigue, some of us have increased cravings. Okay, yes. So um, the brain and the gut, when I say the connection, I'm saying, it's signals that go back and forth, from brain to gut. Hey, the brain says, okay, it's time to eat, um, you know, or the gut said, whatever. So it's back and forth, communication from gut to stomach or what have you. So, it says it's full. Okay, I'm full. I'm hungry. Things of that nature. Okay. And so that's why we want our gut to be good so that we can know when we're really hungry and when we're not, and not just eat just to be eating. Okay. So with that being said, I'm deciding to go on this, metabolic health journey. And hopefully I can do this within these 21 days. It will help me do better, lifelong. Okay. Is what I'm hoping for. So again, metabolic health, we're talking, the process of making sure we don't eat a lot of processed foods, that our bodies are processing foods efficiently, and that's what's going to be best for us, to make sure that we are living healthier, to make sure that we are hopefully living a longer life. Okay. And then also it gives us more energy. It also can help us again with the blood sugars, stabilize them. Okay. Also, whether it's high, whether it's low, it can kind of stabilize them. Okay. And then also it helps with insulin, having healthy insulin levels. Okay. And then also supporting fat burning. And with me, I'm on a quest to body recomp, to get to burn my fats and then also build some muscle. So that's awesome. This will be awesome for me. Everything that I've heard and read about it, it screams this is something that it will be good for you, to be on. And I'm not sure if, like I said, for you, it's something that, is sparking your attention as well. Um, so yeah, that's what I want to talk to you all about tonight. And then like I said, inflammation, we talking stress, poor sleep, it can cause these things. It can hurt, like make it worse, right? This, it can cause the stress and the poor sleep. Highly processed foods can, you know be an issue, as well as just a sedentary lifestyle. It's just chilling all the time on the couch. I was hearing somebody talk about today, you don't want to just be sanitary. You want to, which I already knew about that, but I'm just saying, like, every chance you get, try to move around. When you're on the phone, walk a little bit. When you're, every chance you get, just try to get some steps in. Even if it's a little bit of steps, you may start off with doing it a little bit, but you want to try to get your movement in, because that's going to help your body continue to burn, make you know, give yourself energy and kind of burn the fat off, okay, and burn those calories as well. So yes, all those can contribute to decreasing inflammation and helping with gut health. Okay, so yes, when you have the information, like again, like I said, it does um, hurt or can challenge your weight loss, I should say. And so that's why I want to, try to get back on that 7.5, which I did, 7.5 milligram dose of Manjaro. And when I did that, I still have inflammation. It did go down, but it's still inflammation nonetheless. So I did call my doctor. I put a message into him, my endocrinologist, to kind of talk a little bit about that. So I'm waiting on that phone call. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all, I'm on this 21-day reset. Okay. Um, and then let me see what else I want to talk about. So when it comes to fiber, y'all know I love flaxseed, right? And y'all know I've talked to y'all about me being on a high fiber diet. High fiber, more fiber in your diet definitely helps, too. When it comes to gut health, metabolic health, that helps. So I have increased my fiber to 35 grams. Now I am tracking again on my food tracker, so I can see where I'm at when it comes to my fiber intake and my carb intake and my fat intake. So I'm trying to, get a I want to make sure that I'm, doing well when it comes to my macro nutritions, my macro, I'm sorry, nutrients. So I'm trying to make sure I'm doing good on that. So the only way I can really do it is to track. I hate tracking. I really do. But I know it's a good tool. So I never talk against it because I think it's really good. Now, I do not think that you have to track. You can not track and still do well on a health journey, on a weight loss journey. But when you're actively trying to lose weight, it may be better for you, especially if you see a stall, if you're very slow at losing the weight, it may be better for you, and that's up to you and your healthcare provider. But to try to track some, even if you don't track all 7 days or all month, year or whatever. So yes, fiber is really good. More vegetables are good. um Making sure you get your protein in, that's good. Less processed, ultra processed, that is, foods. More whole foods, if you can get that in, that would be good for you. Also better hydration, making sure you're getting, your hydration in. Now, what I'm trying to do is make sure I get at least 90 grams of, um, I'm sorry, 90 ounces of water, per day. Okay. Sometimes it's hard for me to get that. It's a little difficult. And because I start drinking, for some reason, I don't start really wanting to drink until later on in the day, around one ish, two ish, and sometimes, at the end of the day, I'm still trying to get water in. Now, if we chug a lot of water, that can be hard for our kidneys as well. It can be. So I need to better make sure I'm getting my water in or my liquids in, throughout the day a little bit better. Do that. So manage that. So yes, that's what I'm doing as well. And so all these things I'm talking about is what I'm doing. Okay, for me. And if you want to do it, that's well, you can do that as well. Let me know in the comments that you want to, go along on this journey, this 21-day journey of gut health, better metabolic health. All right. And then my digestion, paying a close attention to my digestion when it comes to how foods make me feel when I eat them. I do notice certain things still, even though I don't have to take the omeprazole anymore. Some people know it as Prilosec. Um, or Nexium. I don't have to take that anymore, but sometimes I still have, at times where I feel, a little weird in my body. I may have some acid reflux and things of that nature, heartburn and all that. So what I do is I may like get a little bit of um, mustard, and that kind of calms that down. Okay, heartburn and all that. So yes, that's what I normally do, and that it goes away pretty quickly when I do that. Some people take, other, I think like, is it Malox? I want to say Malox. They'll take that, and that kind of calms it down if you have acid reflux and things of that nature. Yeah, and then I want to make sure I'm regularly supporting my digestion, of course, just making sure. So I am going to get back on my digestive enzymes, but I also have purchased kombucha. It's good for gut health. I have, of course, I can do pickles, pickle juice as well. Apple cider vinegar is good for gut health, which I'm doing as well. Definitely within this 21 days, every day. Even chlorophyll, that is also good for gut health. Um, Sauerkraut, I'm not doing sauerkraut, y'all, but that kind of fermented foods like sauerkraut, yogurt. Um, uh, okay, so people call it kefir, but I'm trying to remember how it's really pronounced. Kefir, I think is what it's called. It's Kefir. That's good for you. Gut health. What else? Trying to think of what else is there. There's several different things, but those are a lot of things. A lot of good gut health foods and drinks. So yes, that's what I'm doing. Some of those I am using on this 21-day reset. Also, digestive enzymes pills. You can take those. I also noticed that even the some of the energy drinks, and not I'm not talking about like monsters and things of that nature. I'm talking about like, what is it called, Celsius. They have some vitamins in the Celsius drinks, that are energy drinks. It's good for metabolism, helps, increase the metabolism, or promotes metabolism health, as well as giving the energy and things of that nature. So I am using those as well. I did stop coffee, my profis. I'm trying not to do the profi. So during this time, because I do have an issue when it comes down to milk. And so I'm like, I don't want milk to bloat me. And I do take lactose free milk, but I'm like, I want to kind of back off of it a little bit because I do a profi every single morning. So I do want to back off a little bit during this time, during this reset. I'm not saying I'm going to not do it, but doing this reset. So, but I am trying to also eat yogurt. I don't really care for yogurt at all, especially the Greek yogurt. But I am trying to find ways to get that in because I know it is good for my, health as well, as well. So yes, trying to learn how to eat that. Hmm Um, and then stress. Now I'm pretty chill. The stress is not as bad. I've learned how to manage stress better on my journey since I've been on my journey. Um, but of course, you can always level up in that, effort. Um, and even stressing about the weight, not stressing about the weight anymore. That in itself can be good. And then also of the way I can, and I am dealing with, trying to deal with stress management is, of course, through prayer, spending time with God. You can, you can journal, which I do need to do more of journaling. And just quiet time in general, going outside, getting your walk on, especially because it's summertime, that helps out. As well as, because you can talk to God out there, you can just listen to the nature, your birds chirping, the squirrels, running around and things of that nature. Just people moving about. That is very calming for those who may not, use walking outside as part of movement. It is very calming, very good. Even some people, talk about even, and this I don't do this, but just touching outside, touching the ground with your feet, your actual feet, not shoes on. That helps, is very, very beneficial for us. Also, just being touching nature. And then also they have shoes that I would like to get. I think they call barefoot shoes, but they look like um you have to look them up. But yes, I'm sometimes I'm bad with describing. But yes, they're very good shoes too, and they kind of mimic of you touching the ground if you don't like actually putting your foot on the ground. But yes, I'm thinking about getting some of those as well. You can get them on Amazon and some other places. But yes, and then prioritizing my sleep. Now I know when I went and I did the 21-day consistency challenge, and I was able to get better sleep. Starting off, making sure I'm starting getting my sleep, getting into the bed earlier, and that was great for me. I did pretty good with that, and so I'm trying to get, make sure I continue to do that as well. Not every night, but giving myself grace when it comes to every night, but just trying to get more into that. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, if you want to come on this journey with me, let me know in this comment. Let me jump back in here real quick to see what everybody's talking about. Yes, learning balance. Tamika says, "Hello, Miss Gerlene. How you doing? Thanks for coming in." Felicia says, "Yes, Grace. I miss you too, sweetheart." Grace says, "I did crunches today and immediately checked the mirror. Still waiting for my ass to load." I know that's right, Grace. Hopefully by June 21st. I know that's right. Right? At least getting it a little bit better, right? You may not, and sometimes you don't see it on the outside, you know, but it is working on the inside. Believe that it is working on the inside for us. Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes it takes the inside to work, and then you'll see it on the outside. So stay encouraged. Be encouraged. Bellflower says, "How is the hormone therapy going?" So for me, again, it's going good. I'm not feeling as I'm not having as many hot flashes. I'm not having as many night sweats anymore. So that's awesome. That's still working for me. It's actually, I felt it like kind of immediately. I take a pill for both estrogen pill as well as a progesterone pill. And yes, it works for me. It does work for me. I'm thankful for that. And then I started taking a testosterone. I can't say, I don't know what I worked so hard to say. Testosterone pill. I'm not pill, I'm sorry, a cream. Now that I'm kind of back and forth with that. I'm not sure what that's doing for me, but it is good to take. Like I said, I took a test. Now my endocrinologist that had given me the estrogen and the progesterone pill, he heard my side effects and he's like, "I know your side effects. I know you've had a partial hysterectomy. I know that you're 52." Okay. So undoubtedly you probably need some hormone replacement, right? And so I went on that quest, or that embarked upon that hormone replacement therapy journey. And so I'm telling you, almost immediately I started feeling a little bit. I started feeling better. I wasn't having as many night sweats, and the day sweats either. The hot flashes. I wasn't having as many of it. So it's like that. I do still have hot flashes, or whatever, but it's very minimum now. And then so when I went to my gynecologist a few weeks later, that's when she wanted me to do the test, the hormone replacement test, and I did that, a hormone test, I guess, hormones test. And I did that, and I was already back in the normal range. But with the testosterone, I was low. So I decided to go up. I want to go up in that and maximize, back to get to that, that good level, that middle level, right? So that's why I started taking this testosterone. But I can say one thing I noticed, and I know people have, a lot of women have, is dryness, vaginal dryness. And so that definitely does help. Now, I didn't feel like I had vaginal dryness, but I did feel, sometimes I would feel like some scratching, it feels like, with intercourse. And for some reason, I started feeling that. And I'm like, what is that all about? We're going to have to figure that out. That's not going to work. So, I don't feel that anymore, so I'm happy about that. Yeah. Testosterone also helps with, thank you so much, Grace. But testosterone also can help with, uh, your bone health as well. So, like, yeah, muscles and things. So I'm happy about that. So that's why I'm taking this testosterone too. I don't want to take the creatine. It's not suggested for people with kidney disease to have, to take creatine. But I did ask my doctor. Of course, you got to be under supervision of your doctor, and they did tell me that I could take it. I guess with how my levels look, my blood work looks, but only take it during the times that I'm strength training. But I decided not to, as of yet. I'm not doing it, because I don't want it to be an issue, and make my kidneys get worse. So I may do it one day, but not today. But yes, thank you, Grace. She says, congratulations on all your health wins. Thank you so much, Grace. Let's see what else is here. Purple Bellflower says, you have done well, Kim J. Manjaro did its job for sure. For sure. Weight loss is just the bonus. I know that's right. You experienced the bonus, yes. But your metabolic improvements are gold. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So Felicia says, I'm excited for this gut health reset. I have terrible GERD and an endoscopy appointment next month. So hopefully that it helps. Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully so. Felicia, we're praying for you, sweetheart. And Grace is praying as well. All right. Miss Jolene says, Felicia, I have GERD and have experienced the endoscopy. Yes. I actually got an endoscopy and colonoscopy at 51. That was what was that? I think it was October of 2024. So yeah, I'm not due for another one until for 10 years. Everything came back okay for the most part. I did have a little bit of I may be doing a video on that. Yeah. Because I don't have my information in here with me. I know I'm gonna keep it in here, my little I have like a little notebook that I keep everything in. But yes, so I may talk about that on another video, on a video, yeah, or another live. Yeah. So yes, that Felicia can't wait till that sleep, y'all. When they give you that medicine and you just sleep, it's a good sleep, right? 15 to 45 minutes sleep. It is wonderful. Yes. So yeah, that's all she keeps talking about. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do my endoscopy because that sleep is gonna be superb. Yes, yes. All right. So Felicia says, yes, Miss Jolene, but I love the medication. See, there you go. I love the medication that they use to put you to sleep. Right. Best nap ever. Correct. I can attest to that. Hello, Money. How you doing, sweetheart? Hope you're doing well, Money. Jolene says, Felicia, I'm doing better and no longer taking medication, honey. Glad the medication is working for you as well. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Miss Jolene, for that. Hello, Nicole. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Nicole. I'm used to seeing Chole. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? I think I said that right. How are you doing? Hope everyone is having a great evening. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming in. Hope you're doing well too. Miss Paula says, "Good evening, Kim J and Healthy Sweet Life Squad." Yes, yes, yes. Healthy Life Squad. Thank you, Miss Paula, for coming in tonight. Hope you're doing well. Miss Jolene says hello to Nichols and or Nickel. Is that how you say it? I think so. And Paula. All right. So everybody's saying hi to one another. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks for the update. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm happy it is working for me, Bellflower. All right. So Jerlene says, thank you. And I am feeling better. Awesome, Miss Jerlene. So Jerlene says, Kim J, so glad things are getting better. Yes. Better health wise. Yes, yes, yes. And again, health in its totality, honey, is what I seek, is what I know that God said, I will have. I am healed. By his stripes, I am healed. By the stripes of Jesus, I am healed. So yes, I am speaking it on my life. I am speaking on my sweet life, squad's lives. Yes, yes. And yeah, I'm excited about health, right? In its totality, right? And so when I talk to my doctor, my endocrinologist, hopefully they'll be calling me back. I did see a prescription that came in, or they had the information in. I'm waiting on CVS to call me to let me know um, of a prescription I'm supposed to be getting soon, and I'll let you all know about that. I'm gonna tell you now, but yes. Meanwhile, I'm trying to make sure I am regulating those lows, tightening that window to make sure I don't have any low blood sugars. I did have to get a new glucometer because I was using the One Touch Vero um, glucometer and test strips and lancets and all, and so my insurance won't cover that anymore. So I'm now going to use the AccuCheck Guide. Yes. So I'll be starting that probably tomorrow, so I can start checking my blood sugars every morning just to see what my fasting blood sugars are. But since then I've been kind of in limbo because I had to wait to CVS actually restock on the blood. The blood sugars monitor, the glucometer. Yep. And so I can't wait to get back on that just to see where it's at. Yes, because I like monitoring my blood sugars every day or most days. Yep. So that's where I'm at, y'all. When it comes to this 21-day reset. Yes, yes. And I probably will I think I'm gonna put a video out about it, just every now and again about how I'm doing on it, the reset, just to let you all know how I'm doing. And let me know in the comment section if you want to participate with me on this 21-day gut and metabolic resets. Yes, yes, yes. And like I said, I am doing some ab workouts every single day as well. While I'm on the reset, I am doing some ab workouts. So yes, that's where I'm at with it. And I know I'm not going to heal everything, in 3 weeks, right? It's not going to happen. I already know that. And that's a mindset moment, right? But yeah, I want to start it. And so while I've done quite a few things when it comes to metabolic health, I just want to level up. I just want to level up. Yep. I realized that real time takes, I'm sorry, real change takes time. Real change takes time. I realized that, and that's a mindful moment as well. I know my goal is not perfection, even though a lot of times I like running off of perfection, but I better understand now, mindful moment, that I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. And so I do understand though I can be better, right? I can be more consistent. I can be more mindful of needing to give myself grace. I can just, like I said, level up. Okay. Understand that it's better to have progress over perfection, you know, because I'm not going to be perfect. It is what it is, you know, no matter how much I try. And then I can move in excellence, right? Not perfection. And so I am trying to become a better her, a better Kim J. And so this kind of stuff does help me do just that, right? Um, these things like metabolic health and things of that nature. So yes, as well as supplements and my GLP-1 medication definitely can help me in this endeavor. And then I do realize too that every healthy choice is a vote for me as a woman to help me become better, right? I do understand that. So if you are seeking better energy, better digestion, less food noise. I know people that are in 15 that still says they have food noise or they can out eat the medication still and think of GLP-1 medications and everything. But if you have the food noise still, and there's nowhere else to go up, right now, unfortunately, especially if you're on name brand medication. Now, if you're on compound medication, there is a next level than the 15 milligrams, of trizepatide. But if you're on, Manjaro, or you're on um, Zepbound, which is a GLP-1 medication that has both agonists in it, the GLP-1, which is your appetite suppression, and excuse me, the GIP, as well. It helps with appetite suppression and food noise. Yes, if you have food noise and you're on that 15 milligrams, there's no way up yet. They're working on it. Also, I heard that there's a now a new GLP-1 pill that's out. I can't remember the name of it, but it is out as well. If you want to check that out, for those who are looking for something maybe a little bit different, leveling up or whatever, trying to try something new, what have you. Yes, it's a pill that has come out. Lilly has just launched a pill. I think yesterday, June 1st. Yes, it dropped. So yes, you want to talk to your doctor about that, you can. Um, but if you also want better blood sugars, whether your blood sugar is high and it needs to go back down, or your blood sugar is low and it needs to go back up, just as long as just better manage it, then yes, this type of way of eating may be, for you. Um, Also, more consistency. Yes, consistency is key. We hear that all the time, but it's true. It is key, to building habits, is key to becoming better at what we're doing, trying to live a healthy life, and a long life at that. And then also weight loss. Yes, it can help with weight loss. So that's another reason why I want to do this, because I'm hoping that I can come out this plateau and start losing weight again. Now, in my video that I put out, my latest video, plateau or health, which one are you in? Which one are you thinking about the most, or what have you? I did, say that the scale is not the only, thing that we have to look at. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you have come to a stall or a plateau, then think about all the other things that this medicine may have helped you with, or if you've had surgery, that the surgery, since you've been, you've had the surgery, was it VSG surgery? Think of all the things, the non-scale victims that you've, encountered, that would help you, so that you won't think, down on yourself about why you're not losing as much, or why you're not losing at all at the moment. Those non-scale victories, we say thank God for the non-scale victories for a reason. We're not just saying it just to be saying it. These counting your blessings is so important, right? And you may not call it a blessing, but it is a blessing, to be better at health, to have, your heart ticking, like it's supposed to have the blood running down your veins up and, like it's supposed to, be able to sleep at night and not have your, like you you lose breath, or you stop breathing, I should say. That's awesome, if you're having successes in those areas. I think about weight loss, and I think about, say, for me, my low blood sugars. Now, yes, when I got back on that five, I did, I started experiencing inflammation. I started, more of inflammation. I started, start gaining weight again. And that weight itself, yes, I did not want it. Yes, I hated that I was started gaining weight again, but those blood sugars was more important. So I had to go back down to that 5 milligram dose. I would have liked to go on a 10 milligram dose, but I could not do it because of Manjaro, I'm talking about. But because of my blood lows, I went to the 50s, which is not good at all. Like, if you get to a 50, you need to rush to the hospital immediately. So yeah, blood sugars were more important to me than a scale, right? Because if I went, you don't have but so far to go down, with your sugars. The sugars need to be over 70 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, when you prick your finger, that and you put that blood on that strip, and then that monitor reads that your blood, you need to be over that number that comes up on that glucometer. It needs to be 70 or over. And you really don't want it at 70. You want to be well over 70, because if you're at 70 milligrams per deciliter, it may be quickly falling down. And so you only have so much room, like about 20 points before, you need to be in the hospital, because you can slip into a coma, and pass away, and you don't want to do that. So with that being said, you want to make sure you don't have a lot of blood low sugars, right? And even people I hear on GLP-1 that's saying, or on a weight loss journey in general, that's that's non-diabetic, and they're saying they're having low blood sugars. They're experiencing low blood sugars as well. So yeah, that's why I want to talk about, hoping that I encourage people to, if you're on a plateau, if you're on, within a stall, think about those non-scale victories. Think about health in its totality, and I gave you some questions on that video that if you haven't seen the video yet, check it out, because it may help motivate you and encourage you to continue to move forward, continue to, think holistically, and, that you'll be okay, that everything is going to be all right, you know? So, yeah. Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm getting back in this comment section. And just trying to look for the thing, because I took the thing out. So let's see. Hold up. I'm trying to find the next comment. All right. So I read that. Oh, yep. I read that. All right. And then I read, let me see. Yep. Read that. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. That's why I'm like taking this off the screen. I think. Okay. That's it. That's it, Grace. That's it right there. What is it called? Doa? Doya? Is it Fondea? Fondeo? Fondeo? I think that's it. Fondeo. All right. Hello, Ruth. How you doing? I'm happy. I'm happy you came in. Thanks for coming in, and I hope you're doing well, honey. Yes. All right. So anybody in here? Now I know Miss Paula. She's about to go on vacation, and so of course she is not going to do this little challenge here while we're on this one day, honey. But when she comes back, she says she will jump on it. So what I offered to or propose to my members is that, because I did talk to them about it, was it Sunday, about me being on this 21-day challenge, and I did propose to them, you can do a 7-day, a 14-day, a 21-day. A reset when it comes to 7 days, that's kind of like just a starter type thing, a beginning, getting, just like, okay, let me try to, shake some things up, and then I can, kind of wean off of it and start, kind of get a little bit better with how I eat. Um, it can jumpstart sometimes weight loss. It can jumpstart, like I said, better health. And then the 14-day, it is like the normal reset. When it comes to reset, it's kind of the normal thing that people do. And then time frame. And then you have the 21 day, and that's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm doing it. I'm all in. I'm going to a deep dive into trying to have that reset. So yeah, if somebody in here wants to jump in, I know Miss Felicia is on the 21 day. She's all in 21 days. She's focusing on her gut health, yes, and eating like fermented foods. Yes, thank you, Grace. It's a the pill. Then that's a pill, y'all. It's a once daily oral weight loss pill, and it's Fondeo. Yes, Fondeo. Thank you, Miss Grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fondale, and that is Lily's, Eli Lilly. That's Lily's pill. And I know Nova Nordis, they have another pill that came out a few months ago. Um, yeah. Grace says, "Oh, Paula, you're missing out." I'm kidding. Nope, she gonna have a wonderful time where she's going, honey, and I am so excited for her. Yes, honey, but she's jumping on it right. Soon as she get back, she gonna jump on it. Yep. So she is not she loves like those challenges. We've done 3 challenges on the membership, the becoming inner circle, and everybody has said they've had a wonderful time. So and they've done, they've kind of gotten back into some things that they had not been doing, or that they are leveling up in. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Um, Paul says, "Hi, Grace. What am I missing out on, honey? I'm going on a cruise, honey. Packing right now." I know that's right, Paula. I look out. That was your business. I won't tell it, honey. I wasn't going to tell it. I was going to leave you to tell that. Yes, honey. Yeah, the detox the detox reset. Yep, yep. That's pretty much what it is. Detox reset. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. And I know some other people in our community, they're like, some people, I also say, if you're not wanting to do the challenge this time, go ahead and cheer us on. We need to be motivated, to do this. Like I said, some people, it may be, you know, kind of difficult for them to do this, thing. But yeah, I remember the 21 day reset when we were doing it, the 21 day challenge that we did, which is to pick at least one thing that you have not been doing, that you know you need to do, but you haven't done, or that you're doing and you can do better, or, to level up in. Yeah, it's a lot of testimonials that we receive off of that 21 day challenge. So I'm so excited. I also asked the Sweet Life Squad to do in May to do a walking challenge, because May was walking, um, awareness month. And yes, some people did that and they did great. For those who, actually gave us the information, gave us some responses about it, they did really good on it. So I'm happy about that. Kudos to everyone that has been on the 4 challenges that I have put out. Yes. Some people I know love challenges. So yeah. Miss Paula's is laughing. She said, "I don't think it is a detox. It's a gut health challenge." It's definitely a gut health challenge. But for some people, it's kind of detoxing from some of the things that they were doing before that may not have been as healthy, detox in that manner. Yeah. And so now they're going to do better. They're trying to make sure making sure their gut is healthier, and making sure that, their metabolic health is better. Right. So in that manner, that's what I mean when I'm saying detox. I mean, yeah, detoxing from the ultra processed foods, and things of that nature. Adding more gut healthy foods. Yep. Grace says, "Paula, have the best time on the cruise, honey." I know that's right. Paula says, "Thank you, Grace. I'm trying not to forget anything." Yes, please make sure you get everything you can. Put it, pack in that suitcase. Make sure you pack in tight so that you can, get as much as you can in there. But I think you're going to enjoy the cruise. And I can't wait to hear about it when you come back. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, y'all. So that's what I have for you all today. If y'all want to talk about something else, let me know in the comments. If not, I'm going to get off of here so I can get some movement in. Yes, and I need to eat for the evening. Yes. Or if all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to get on off of here, honey, a little earlier than when I normally get off. Yep. I'm waiting. Look, going once, going twice. Let me know. Let me know. If y'all are thinking about it, jumping on this 21 days or 7 day, 14-day reset, just a gut health in general, let me know. You can let me know even after this live. You can tell me, go back in the comment section of the live and let me know. And I'll check it out and talk to you. Yes, enjoy your cruise, Ruth said. Yes, safe travels to you. Paula's gonna have a great time. I know she is. I know she is, honey. And I think this is Paula's first cruise, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, I asked her. I said, "Hey, you got your, your medicines like your Dramamine, just in case you need it or what have you." She said, "Yes." Because I know sometimes the first time, depending on how if it's rocky out in the boat, that help. It definitely helps. It definitely. I know my husband. He has to take Dramamine. He takes it before the first time he got on a cruise, went on there. Um, yeah, it had him sick. It had him sick. He didn't know about the Dramamine then, but ever since then, the cruises that we've gone on, he makes sure he take that Dramamine before he gets on that boat, and then he'll take it. I think like the first day he'll take some, and he's good for the rest of the cruise. Yep. So he takes it as a precautionary measure now, before the cruise, which I've heard a lot of people say when they have time. Those who have issues with the waters. Yeah, being on water. Yep. So I think you'll do very, very well. I'm praying that everything works, goes well for you. Um, Paula, you and your husband, that y'all have a wonderful time on the cruise, that y'all do not get seasick, on the cruise, but everything will be wonderful, that y'all will enjoy each other. Yes. And be able to create more memories, great memories together. Yes, yes, yes. In the name of Jesus, amen. Yes. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to head out. Love you all. Thank you all for coming in tonight. Thank you all for listening at me talk about what I'm about to do on this 21-day challenge. I greatly appreciate you all. Hopefully, y'all got something from the information I have shared with y'all tonight. It's very good information. I think for anybody, whether you're on a 21-day reset or just in general, gut health is so important for us. And yes, yes. So Paula, Miss Jolene also said, enjoy the cruise. All right, y'all. So good night. Love you all and peace out.